So bout number 2 of this evening sees Dynamite taking on Pitbull. It is, of course, Connor the Pitbull Meanwell in the blue corner. He's in the black shorts. And Mason Dynamite Dickinson in the brown and silver shorts. Made his ring walk with 7-1 on the back of his shirt. And that is what he will hoping for tonight. That reflects his record. It's 6-1 at the moment. He wants to go to 7-1, so clear intentions for him. Had that loss, as I mentioned, in October over in the US. It's a knockout stoppage. Can always be really difficult to come back from, but he managed to overcome that hurdle in March here at Skate Central with a points win. Said he was inspired by Anthony Joshua's redemption story from his first loss, so taking some inspiration from that and did exactly the same himself. And came back, bounced back with a win, and he'll be looking to add another win to that now. It's all about building confidence back, isn't it, Max, after that loss? And he did that in March, and now he'll look to build again. Yeah, definitely. Mason is, that was a horrendous knockout he got. And it was on a decent, it was on a good show, and it was, he was a away fighter and he took a risk, and he's got, balls of steel, and he got the win back, and just want to see a good, steady, all-round performance tonight. Sharp double jab from Dickinson, just penetrating the guard of Meanwell. He's very active, Meanwell. He's been on FightZone TV numerous times. We've commentated on him in Nottingham on a couple of occasions, where he's from. Always willing to trade if he needs to. Yeah, I like that variation, downstairs and upstairs again. Had 28 amateur bouts, did Dickinson. He says he is quite an introvert by nature, but boxing brings out his confidence, his alter ego, if you like, and you see that with that mask, and he's all business-like, serious when he makes his way to the ring. Some boxers, of course, smile and lap it up, and others like to have that game face on, if you like. Boxing out of the Titans boxing gym in Sheffield. Got a few from there on tonight's card. Got a great stable. Great atmosphere in the gym, Max, when there's a few of you from the same gym, whether it's amateur or pro, and you're all getting ready for the same fight dates on the same show. It's really pushes everyone, doesn't it? Yeah, and I think going on to that, you've got Mikey and Dylan Trevor on here, and yeah, they all push each other, so it's good to see, and it's good camaraderie in that gym, actually. There's a good crop in there. A couple of nice little combinations from Dickinson in those last sequences, and Meanwell firing back. Tucks up well, just working again off that jab, just keeping things at range is Dickinson. Just a fairly cautious first round, but when these two have thrown, they've thrown with some real intent at times, Max, so... Yeah, I just don't like the edge then, that last 10 seconds. Mason was on that ropes there. He needed to move off of there. It's just a danger area for me there. Connor Meanwell is one of those, as I've said, we've seen him numerous times on FightZone TV before. He is happy to scrap if he needs to, and if you offer it to him, he will fire back. So perhaps in Dickinson's interest just to have a controlled performance here, where he can dominate at range, step in, put some combinations together when he wants to, but perhaps not risk anything with Meanwell, because he will trade. Yeah, and not only that, is just going on to say that the problem is with Mason, sometimes I see it, he sometimes goes in autopilot, but when he's on it, I tell you what, he throws some lovely combinations, variations. We saw that in that round, upstairs, downstairs, to the body, throws it out. I see that a lot more. Firing out that jab to kick us off in this second round, Dickinson, and then again just working behind that jab. Meanwhile, just happy to take those on the gloves for now. Nice couple of counters from Dickinson there. It's good work from Dickinson. He's staying switched on, and part of the key here is that discipline. Chips a little chopping backhand from Meanwell there, and that's where he doesn't want to be. It's better when he just steps away when he's landed and just continues to keep control of that range and that distance. Just enables him to work behind that jab and doesn't want to let Meanwell up too close. Working again behind that jab, Dickinson, and doubled it up and followed up with the backhand a couple of moments ago, and it just found its way through the guard of Meanwell. Could perhaps just vary his shots a little bit, Dickinson, at times. Just vary those straight shots and maybe drop some downstairs or bring in a hook, but most important thing is to keep that discipline and maintain control, and if straight shots is the most comfortable way for him to do that, then so be it. He'll just want to get the win under his belt. Meanwell finding his way through with a few shots and then just steps off.
I just want to see Mason a little bit busy with that jab, a little bit more.
Tapping away with that jab is Dickinson. If he can control the distance and the range, might not be the most exciting encounter, but the important thing is not to leave himself too vulnerable. And we just saw that there, his lead hand low, and Meanwell finding his way over the top. And you do feel that if Meanwell really wanted to have a go here and you know, sort of plant his feet and swing, he could find himself in a spot of bother Dickinson, because when he has turned it up a little bit in the closing stages, Meanwell, he's found his way through, and he is vulnerable at times, Dickinson. Got to be switched on, and I think that's perhaps why, although we'd like maybe to see a bit more variety, it is only his second fight since that stoppage, and important just to be controlled and perhaps a cautious approach en route to getting this win, I guess is the best way to say it.
I'm just looking at the corner now, Stacey, and I think John is giving him a bit of a rollicking slightly, Mason, just be a bit more busier and just not switch up. I just felt for the best part of 45 seconds, he just switched up and just waited, you know, Meanwell to do something. And, you know, you can't do that, unfortunately. Because, you know, your opponent here will maybe turn you over if you're not careful if you're doing stuff like that. Nice jab by Mason.
Yeah, we've seen it plenty of times where the away fighter just fancies it and they really turn it up. Often not in their interest to do that, because somebody as active as Meanwell, as I say, he's had 13 bouts this year already. He's still got the best part of 3 months until the end of the year, so he won't want to risk anything, any hand injuries, any cuts. It prevents him being able to earn his living, of course, so it doesn't mean that now and then they just might want to fire a couple of shots out. Always got to stay switched on. Dickinson again, just flicking out that jab. Goes down to the body. A little look from Meanwell to say it was a little bit low.
You can hear John Fuchs there.
Just working again off that jab, and it is key for him to keep control of that range and distance for Dickinson and not take any unnecessary risks.
Just heard John Fuchs's corner, Mason's corner, just stick to your boxing and just be disciplined.
Well, that's what we've been saying, isn't it, since the first round? Discipline and control are key for Dickinson here.
Yeah.
Meanwell, I'm going to word again about these low shots.
Yeah, he just said that even his opponent, Meanwell, just acknowledged that, so that was low. I feel Mason, when Meanwell starts throwing leather at him, it brings the best out of Mason a little bit. He knows he has to fight. Does that make sense? There's some boxers like that. He feels a bit low on these shots. I'm surprised the referee hasn't pulled him up on it.
.30 remaining, and this has caught fire a little bit here. We've seen it in the last 10 seconds in the first 2 rounds. It's perhaps started to trade a little bit sooner in this one, although it's settled again now. We have seen that in the final 10, haven't we, where they've both opened up a little bit, Max, and did it with 30 seconds to go there, but it's kind of like one of those fireworks that very quickly fizzles out. Perhaps a traffic light one, that a little burst and then fizzled out. So we didn't get a big finish to that 3rd round, but that was that control and discipline that they've been asking for in the corner for Dickinson in that 3rd round.
Yeah, just seeing in this replay, I think we just that Meanwell just nudging that low blow in a little bit. I want to see if he just says a few words to him in the middle of that round. No, maybe not.
Yeah, Meanwell's been complaining about Dickinson dropping a couple of those shots a little bit too low beneath the belt line for his liking. Real stern talking to for Dickinson in the corner. Let's see if they put a little bit of fire in his belly now. They won't want him to go gung-ho, it's not about that, but they want to fire him up in the sense to stay switched on, stay disciplined, execute what we're asking you to do.
It's been a little bit busier, a bit more busier this now, Mason, a bit more alert all of a sudden. See, nice body shot there.
That's better from Dickinson. That's better from him, and there's the variety that we've been perhaps missing a little bit, Max. It's been lots of straight shots and been easy for Meanwell to predict and to defend. When you start dropping down to the body as well,
yeah,
I've mixed it up a bit, and not those ones that are below the belt that he's complained about. He got a couple around the back of the elbows there, and it gave Meanwell something to think about. This is better movement from Dickinson as well. He's been going in and out in straight lines, fairly predictable. Ship to backhand there, but he's been pivoting more, hasn't he, moving laterally.
Definitely, yeah. I saw, you know, I've seen him in the gym, and, you know, spar's really great. I know spar's different to, you know, a real life bout, but, you know, he's so sharp in sparring. So if he can get to that 10% into a bout, he's good, he's really good, and he's just seen snippets of it.
This has been much better in this 4th round from Dickinson. He has stayed switched on. He's not really allowed Meanwell many opportunities. He's taken a couple of backhands, but nothing too much. Meanwhile, he's managed to get his own shots off. There's been a bit more variety. Backhand uppercuts made its way through a couple of times, and more movement from Dickinson as well. This has been a better 4th round so far. Won't want to take any risks here, though. Switches on and steps back. Doesn't want to get caught on the ropes, though.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to stay on the ropes,
and that was smart from him there, though, Max, because if you are going to stay on the ropes, you need to tie your opponent up, and he did that almost immediately. He didn't switch off and allow Meanwell to just let his land some leather, did he? So, smarter work from him. Final 30 seconds.
Yeah, and you can, and look what John Fuchs is, Mason's corner's just saying. He's saying these things: tie him up, be smart. All these little tricks of the trade.
And again, he's just leaving his head up there, coming in in straight lines, Dickinson, and making it easy for Meanwell to pick him off. And so he took a couple at the end there, but all round a better fourth round for Dickinson there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We'll see what the final results are, but I like to think Dickinson's got that.
So Mason Dickinson and Connor Meanwell making their way to the centre of the ring. We'll get our official announcement from Robert Blundell.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a big round of applause for both of our boxers? After 4 rounds of action, we go to Howard Foster's scorecard, which reads 40 points to 36 in favour of your winner, from Sheffield, Mason Dynamite Dickinson.
So he'll be delighted.